3, 2, 1. Welcome to Credit Zero.
Drew, I want to hit you with a hypothetical.
Okay, Paul.
All right, so you are hired on as a bear feeder, right?
Okay.
You're on. So someone has found you and is just sort of like, "Hey, Drew,
You found me?
I will cure your headache if you feed the bears." And so you sign
easy.
you sign a contract,
For
right?
sure.
Yeah. No, I'm not done. This is like the setup. So you sign a contract, right? And as soon as you sign the contract, your headache disappears, right?
I don't even have to feed the bears?
Well, no, you have to feed the bears now because you signed the contract.
Okay.
So you get to the bear feeding enclosure. There's like a whole family of bears. You know, like a nuclear family, like 4 bears, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And you're ushered into the feeding room, and there are all these like different types of salmon aligned in a row, right? There's the small salmon, there's a medium salmon, there's a large salmon.
Getting Goldilocks vibes.
You pick the large salmons at first because you figure, you know, why not? And you start feeding the bears. The bears start eating the salmon, right? And then they seem to really like the large salmon. So you go, okay, they really like the large salmon. And so you keep feeding them large salmon day in and day out. And eventually, like, the bears get a lot more friendly towards you. And so you're able to just be around the bears constantly, right?
Cool, yeah.
So while you're around the bears eventually just start like doing like these high five type maneuvers with you. And
They're high-fiving me?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
like when they get their salmon. So these bears are high-fiving you, right? You're on a good rapport with the staff there. And while you're high-fiving these bears, the bears kind of like do this. They sort of like motion towards you, like, come over here. They bring you into their cave, okay?
Okay.
Now, inside the cave, now this is important, there are like 3 cave paintings. There's one on the left side, which is a flower field. There's one in the middle, which is the family of bears. And there's one on the right side, which kind of looks a little bit like you, but a little bit different, right?
Okay.
So you no, hold on, I'm not done. So you after you found the 3 cave drawings in the bear cave, right? You go back out and you figure, oh, okay, that's weird. You go to sleep and you wake up, and one of the bears is beside you in the morning.
Like at my house?
Yeah. Give me a second, I'm not done. So the bear is in your house with you, right?
Okay, thanks for clarifying.
You're welcome. So the bear is inside your house. Your housemates nowhere to be seen, right?
Sure.
And you go back to the feeding thing, and one of the bears is missing from the enclosure, right? You still give them the salmon, but you're just sort of like, hey guys, you know, give the high fives. Where's the other bear? Now, the bears can't speak English nor understand it, so they don't answer. However, they take you back into their cave, right?
Okay.
And on the right side, next to the picture of what you think might be you, is a drawing of one of the little bears, right?
Okay, so there's still the flower field. There's still the family of bears portrait. All
Yeah.
4 of them are in the family.
All 4 of them are there,
Okay,
yeah.
and then there's me and a little bear.
There's you and a little bear, dude, yeah.
But like almost me and a little bear.
Yeah, almost you and a little bear, right?
Okay.
So you head up a night on the town, right? You figure nightclub. Now that you're here, your head is okay. You just figure, you know, I want to go to.
I can drink, I can party. What's
Yeah,
allowed?
I want to go.
My
I
head
want
is
to go to
not
the club
okay right now.
and while you're there, right? You ask, hey bartender, give me 20 of the good ones, as you often say.
20.
Yeah. Why are you surprised? This is your catchphrase.
you're right,
Anyways,
you're
so the bartender goes up from below. Oh, it's a bear. The bartender.
The bartender's a bear?
The bartender's a bear.
Bear-tender.
Bear-tender, if you will. And the bartender gives you 20 of the good ones, as you request, as is your catchphrase, as you're famous for in this nightclub scene. You start downing them one by one, right? You wake up. Now 2 of the bears are in your bed with you, right?
Okay. But I wake up at home, like I'm.
Yeah, you
at
wake
home.
you black out at the nightclub and wake up at home.
Okay, good.
You go to your bear feeding job, right? You pick out the this time you want to go a little bit different. You go with the medium salmon, right? You throw out the medium salmon for these bears, right? And they go like, oh, thank you, bro, and you know, high fives. They bring you back to their cave, right?
Okay. How many bears are there right now?
How many bears are there right now in the cave? There are no bears in the cave with you.
They're the bears that I'm feeding.
Oh, the bears that there's 5. So
Okay.
so you get
4 to 3 to 5.
yeah.
Okay.
They must have bred or something.
Or something.
Or adopted, I don't know. So you go into the cave, right?
Sure.
And
Yes, you do.
there's a drawing of like it is very clearly who's the actor who played Frodo Baggins? Elijah Wood. It's very clearly Elijah Wood. They're getting better at this. So then you go to bed. You wake up.
Very nice eyes Elijah Wood has.
Yeah, and like they got it dead on.
Nice.
These eyes.
Yeah.
They're crying.
So you wake up in the morning, right?
Okay.
And the entire family of bears, all 5 of them, are in your bed with you.
Okay.
All right. You go to. You're not even sure why at this point, but you
Do
go
I
to your job.
make them breakfast, or did they just?
That's not part. That's not part of the hypo. Can you not interrupt me?
Okay,
the
sorry.
hypothetical is not over. So you go to your job, and you realize, 5 different bears are in your house because all 5 of the bears are here.
Oh, interesting. So these are bears that I don't recognize that are in my house.
Yeah.
Because I've spent like a year with them at this point.
Yeah. So you get taken to the cave, right? And sure enough, all 5 of the bears are drawn beside you. Elijah Wood, dead. Like the drawing version, like they
X
killed
is
him.
over his eyes.
Yeah, X is over his eyes, like, like something tongue out. It's very graphic what they actually did, but I'm going to leave those details out. It's not pertinent to the hypothetical. It's not pertinent to the thing that you need
Don't
to
want
know.
to ruin the experience.
Yeah, exactly. So you go back home. The bears are growing. They are 12 feet tall. They're starting to develop human
That's pretty
facial.
normal for a bear,
No,
right?
hold on. They're starting to
12
develop
feet tall?
human facial characteristics. Right?
Okay.
They're starting to look like one's starting to look like Tom Selleck. One of them's starting to look like Angelina Jolie. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah.
She's like the most bear-like human we know.
Exactly, which is probably why. Yeah. Angelina Jolie, the bear of the human world, as she's often described in our Hollywood circle.
Angelina the Bear. Jolie.
Yeah, exactly. So you go back to the nightclub and you order 20 more of the good ones. Now, interestingly, there's no bartender this time. It's a human bartender, and that almost puts you off a little bit.
Yeah. Is it the end of the hypothetical?
Yeah. Did you enjoy it?
That was, yes, I enjoyed it. That was a fun journey to go on.
Glad you enjoyed it. So, I was supposed to... I told these ahead of time. I was going to cold open with a hypothetical and keep adding stuff until you told me, like, what is the point of this? It's too long.
But then
Daryl cracked really early, and you didn't. Well done, dude. You are...
I thought we were going on like a sort of Norm Macdonald journey where there was going to be like a really simple punchline at the end.
I can come up with one if you want.
Sure, go for it.
All right. So, when you go to the nightclub, people go like... well, you seem really tense. Something going on at home, and you pause and you say, "Bear with me."
That is actually pretty good. 'Cause there's going to be a bear with me.
Yeah.
Welcome to Credit Zero.
Yay! The podcast by After School Arcade, the improv troupe. What's your name?
Luke.
What's your name?
Daryl.
What's your name?
Drew.
What's my name? Sweet, dude. All right.
Also Tweed.
Yeah, that also the online alias, therefore known as. Welcome to April of 2023, y'all. What's so significant about this month?
2023.
I sure
Oh
did.
yeah,
didn't
you
I?
did.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you effed up.
Not really. I could just say I'm sorry. Look, I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
Fuck you! Fuck you!
They're in the middle of apologize.
Yeah, I didn't even get all the sentences out. Have you ever, like, you didn't, I didn't see you behind Corinne Ballinger while she plucked out that ukulele and went, "Don't sing about fucking kids."
You're not sorry about what you did.
Yeah, well, I mean, clearly she wasn't.
No.
That's known as, like, the worst YouTuber apology. I really enjoy how YouTuber apologies are getting worse and worse and worse with time.
Well, it's because
like, actively enjoy that.
It's not about the it's about the spectacle now. Like it's
But it's clearly
its own
not.
genre.
But it's clearly not because, like, Colleen
it
Ballinger.
feels like it.
I said Corinne at the beginning too. I fucked up
Did
real
you?
bad. I am sorry.
No, you're not.
Shut up. Yeah, Colleen Ballinger like tried to go for the spectacle and fucked up, right?
Yeah.
Like so much so that it's just like
I'm
a
not
meme to
saying
bring
it's
it.
good spectacle. I'm saying like it's motivated by spectacle.
It's like the new cringe genre is just YouTuber apologies. Yeah.
Yes, Cringeapalooza.
Yeah, I don't think that's even wrong necessarily because I haven't seen good YouTuber apologies in a long while. Like the last good YouTuber apology I can remember is like CGP Grey for getting a thing in a video wrong and no one cared. That
They
originally
actually made a full video. Like
he made like a 20-minute video like dissecting
making
what
one
went wrong, how videos can sometimes go wrong with like categorizations of blunders. Like it's the most CGP Grey thing you could possibly imagine if you know who the YouTuber is, which I think you do.
I don't.
Okay, he's basically like an analytical YouTuber. He does like video essays, kinda, animation hybrids on like really obscure like things. Like the thing that he was apologizing for was this one nuclear testing facility in the U.S. called Tikoi, and he was like, "What is Tikoi?" And he got it wrong. Like he got like the type of nuclear missile wrong, which he considers an error catastrophigus, which is like it destroys the point of the video.
What the video is about.
Yeah. Which makes sense. I imagine if we like did an episode of the podcast and we somehow did nothing improv related, didn't shoot the shit, and didn't answer questions, I guess we'd owe an apology as well.
We have to make an apology after this. Angelina Jolie does not look like a bear.
I mean, I'm not gonna apologize. Daryl, are you gonna apologize for that?
I actually, I still believe that.
Still fine. My favorite April Fool's video from this year was an apology video.
By whom?
The Plain Bagel.
Oh my god.
It's a friend of Patrick Boyle, a finance YouTuber.
Wow, I know who that is.
You pointed at Paul like, oh, you know.
Well, I do know. I like Patrick
we talked
Boyle.
about Patrick Boyle.
Oh.
We've talked openly. You were checked out on your phone going like, I just get my check and get out of here.
But
That's true.
It was a good bit. He got caught by what's the catching scammers guy?
CoffeeZilla?
CoffeeZilla, yeah.
Okay.
He pretended he got caught by CoffeeZilla and was like, I used to respect him.
Oh, that's
And
fun.
It was good, yeah.
That's
That
really
is-
good.
That's really funny.
Fuck you. It's a joyous
Sorry,
thing.
some of us are online more than others.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I
think-
prefer the woods.
I think it's fair to say that Drew and I are very online.
Probably, like
Yeah.
in terms of internet culture things.
I'm
Yeah, yeah.
online, but I'm just on Reddit.
Yeah.
But you don't have an account.
You are.
don't
I do.
use an account.
You are Ross's wet dream when he asked that question. Like, what subreddits are you on? I want to stalk y'all.
Yeah.
And you came to the thing with answers, and none of the rest of us did.
Yeah, no.
yeah, I
I'm
got
a,
more.
I'm
I
a
got way more.
podcast boy through and through.
Except for that time that you went on Reddit and looked up a chimp fucking a frog to death.
I didn't. that was when I was like 15.
That's worse. You get how that's worse, right? Anyways, yeah, thank you. So, anyways, as an improv troupe that sometimes does podcasting and stuff like that, we sometimes get questions from our improv shows.
Sometimes.
Always.
Yeah. And this one was celebrating the fact that we will be 5 years old as an improv troupe. Happy anniversary to us. Yay.
Happy anniversary! Happy anniversary! It's happy
crazy.
Anniversary! Happy anniversary!
That works. I suppose. Isn't it crazy how we've been doing this for 5 years?
That's a long time.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Well, during the pandemic, it was like we were quote unquote doing it, but we were.
We
really
did the
doing it.
podcast for 5 years.
Yeah.
What are we doing now? What are we doing now?
Daryl,
We're
what are we
doing
doing
now.
now?
What are we doing now?
What are we doing now? I don't know. We're not answering questions. That's for sure.
We're doing a
let me just put them away
podcast.
then.
We're doing a podcast. We've been doing the podcast for 5 fucking years.
Oh, is this thing on?
Yeah, dude. It's a good bit. Don't get me wrong.
Thank you. Thank you.
All
Thank
right,
you.
segues aside, let's start asking questions or
All right.
answering questions that other people ask.
All right. Sounds like a
get the-
plan.
I'll
Who's
get
this from?
This is
Answer the question. Come on.
Come on, Eileen.
This is from Keegan.
I will not. Okay. Keegan.
Would you rather have a horse-sized dog or a dog-sized horse?
Dog-sized horse.
Yeah, dog-sized horse.
Dog-sized horse would be pretty cute, like a mini pony.
Horse-sized dog, like my parents have a German Shepherd.
Yeah.
It's imprinted on me, sadly. And so every time I come over, genuinely, it goes up on 2 legs and tries to claw all over me.
You don't like dogs, though. I fucking love
And
dogs.
I don't like dogs. But also, even if you like dogs, I think it's reasonable to go like, oh boy, this thing with legitimately sharp claws, like it's caused like open wounds on me on my arms if I'm
Because
not.
it's so heavy.
Yeah. So like I have to wear like jackets and stuff like that, and like for God's sakes, like
It's pretty torn up.
yeah. So like I just have to accept that my clothes are gonna get torn up whenever I visit my my parents, and like you, I'm very sensitive to loud noises. So hearing like brr, brr, as soon as I show up and no one else, it triggers the barks. It's the worst fucking thing in the world, even if I like dogs, which I don't, so
Yeah.
it sucks.
That is fair. That is fair.
So a horse sized that,
and horses are big.
and
like,
horses are huge.
That's like-
And
It's
dogs
like
are dumb.
Yeah. They're
and clumsy.
And
Yeah.
the,
super clumsy.
the bigger they are, the dumber and clumsier they are. I would hate a horse-sized dog.
Remember Bear? The dog.
My dad's dog?
Yeah.
I remember my dad's
Yeah,
dog.
he hip checked the wall
From
and
the,
put a hole in it. That was
dog
so
episode.
fucking funny. That was really fucking funny.
Remember when Bentley came in and then just tracked in all that shit into your mom's house?
Yeah, and you were cleaning it up, and Bentley went around and came behind you.
kept tracking shit.
Sniffing your ass.
Imagine if either Bentley or Bear was horse-sized.
Yeah.
How much
Yeah.
worse would that be?
That's hilarious.
You know
It's
what?
like
that-
Team Jacob size.
I'd still.
I
take
love.
it.
I could still remember us. I think Leslie was there too. I can still remember us in the corner just giggling, going like, "Should we point out to Drew that there's shit behind him now?" And I think it was Daryl going like, "No, let him be surprised."
And fucking Bear like jumped on you, who doesn't like dogs. Just got super excited, ran around and didn't know where his weight was going. Hip checked the drywall and put a fucking dent in there that was there for like 6 months.
Oh, if you had a horse-sized dog, you wouldn't be able to leave anything on the counters because they would just eat that shit like so easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was,
Horses do
You'd
that.
need a
Well, we
stable.
don't, yeah, we don't.
Well, that's what I was thinking. You need a. You can't. They can't be in the house if it's a horse.
ever. Yeah, ever.
Yeah.
So goodbye to Bear or Bentley being in the house, dude.
Have you seen that?
Well, goodbye to Bentley.
Yeah, that's
seen
true.
that-
He is dead.
Have you
Oh, damn.
That's what he was saying.
have you seen that YouTuber that has that cow and he lets him in the house and he tries to do shit? Yeah, it's so funny because he's like trying to do dishes
'Cause they're
and
wide, too, cows.
this fucking 1-ton animal is like, I want pets, and like shoves him.
Give me attention.
Yeah.
So I think it's fair to say we're all in relative consensus.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Wow,
All right.
this is,
I want the dog.
that's almost like a first for
That's
us.
kind of cool. It's like a little pony. My Little Pony.
I want the
It's a
dog.
bit what?
I want the big dog.
Now,
This question comes from Kiwi. Now keep in mind, we are being given a scale. We have to adhere to the scale. Especially you, Drew.
1 to 10.
On a scale of yes to absolutely, this may be a short answer, would you introduce me to your parents? Who even are you, dude?
Yeah, who's
Yeah.
Kiwi?
Who even are you, dude? I know who Kiwi is.
I know who Kiwi is.
Daryl knows who Kiwi is.
I don't know who Kiwi is.
You still have to say yes at absolute lowest, so you may as well just say yes.
yeah, I'll say yes because it's the lowest.
Yeah. Oh, Drew's trying to think about how to games his way out of this one.
No, I mean obviously you have to, but I'm just trying to think with what enthusiasm I would introduce a total stranger to my parents. Honestly,
Honestly.
probably an absolute
clipped.
yes. we found
In the
out,
editing booth, I'm gonna be like, "Arr!"
we found out at our most recent show how like my parents can get in on the joke. So I do think like an absolute yes. Knowing my parents, I think yeah.
I think we found out how much your parents can get in on the joke. We've talked about this in season 1, but it's been a long while. I want to talk about that one time that your dad, Luke and I were traveling in the car on the way back from Ottawa. So we have, I don't think we brought this.
We've definitely told the story at least once, but it was a while ago.
Yeah, so I don't know how to cold open this other than explaining that we used to have an in-joke about Drew fucking his dad. That in itself.
We stopped doing it because it was too cruel. It was like mustard gas.
Yeah, we agreed. One of the items was that when we agreed to start After School Arcade, it's like we can't joke about this.
Yeah,
this
right.
is too far. And then, sure enough, Drew became a pedophile that fucks cats. Well, it went out the window like season 1, early.
Incest was too far, but all the other stuff was fine.
Yeah. So yeah. If you're wondering how the hell did the in-joke come up of Drew fucking his dad, too long to explain. I will get into tangents upon tangents. All you need to know is that we had an in-joke
It
about
existed.
Drew. Yeah,
That's-
it existed about Drew fucking his dad, and we kept joking about it in so many different ways. And in one way, Luke and I were getting driven back from Ottawa, so like a 6-hour drive.
You two in the back seat, my dad driving, me in the passenger seat.
Yep. It was just us 4, and like Drew's dad obviously has no idea about this. Drew does, but he's
This might be the first time he finds out if he listens to this podcast.
does he ever listen to the podcast? Yeah. Oh no.
No, Douglas.
He's gonna get a lot of context. All right, Dougie, listen up. So, fucking wait, yeah. So Drew knew the joke, but he was like "Meh," about it, and so Luke and I like to fuck him about it often. So. And so, Drew's dad, Douglas, was playing pretty good chaperone. He was putting on music in the car, some really nice music.
It's like classic 80s, if I remember.
Yeah, a really bopping playlist, if I do say so myself.
Here I go again on my own.
Yeah.
White Snake.
So he put on different songs, and Luke and I, to entertain ourselves, we started sending messages back and forth on our phones, parodying the song titles in a way that invokes Drew fucking his dad.
Yeah.
So, like, some of the, like, lower tier contenders were, like, The Lion Sleeps Tonight, like, Drew sleeps with his dad tonight, he fucks his dad tonight, stuff like that. Hot Child in the City, hot dad that I'm fucking.
That was the best one.
No, the best one, I maintain, the best one, I was super proud of this, was Walking on Sunshine, fucking Drew's behind. And what's great about this is that we were laughing in the backseat, we were not even bothering to hide it.
Yeah.
Occasionally we would show Drew on the phone screen so that Doug wouldn't get wise, and Drew would read it and go, SpongeBob, stop it. But, like, nothing more.
But my dad like knew something was happening, but didn't know what it was.
Exactly, and Doug, who really wanted to be in on the joke, figured out really early on, like, it has something to do with the music. So Doug, not knowing what we were doing, kept changing the song, going, "Hey guys, how about this one?"
And like pointing at the song title.
I think he also clocked that it was like sex related, so he's putting like it was like sexy music on it. I'm like, Doug, you don't want to be doing that.
Now, years later, he'll finally find out.
Yep. So yeah, that's you can look forward to meeting Drew's dad, Kiwi. My parents, I mean, they're pretty homebodies. They got one working leg between the two of them. Dad's a little bit on the grumpy side. Have fun meeting them. What about your parents? Your parents are pretty lovely. Well, your dad's pretty lovely.
They're both lovely. You don't know my mom like that.
I'd love to, but every time I tried to get to know her, she just sat on the bed reading her magazine, giving me the stinky eye.
Yeah, one time.
That was every time.
One
That was
time.
every time.
That was every one time.
Yeah.
And Kiwi, I think, I'd be excited for you to meet them. I don't think they would be particularly excited. They're not excited about anything.
Not excited to meet you.
They're not excited about anything other than, when are you coming home?
And bird watching.
And bird watching. Both of them. Like
Your
birds.
dad like starts fucking like moving in place like a fucking like elevator getting ready to move to to stop on a floor. Yeah, exactly. Oh, I can't wait. Yeah, that's your fucking
we have
dad.
cardinals. We have cardinals in our
Oh, that's the prize.
We got
Cardinals
lots
are
of
the
cardinals
prize.
at our place too.
young cardinals.
Is that a cardinal? Oh, I'm wet.
Who's that?
That's your dad.
It's not my dad.
Oh, I'm wet.
No.
cardinal.
No. My dad doesn't do that.
I'm wet in my Clarks.
My dad. Shut up! Shut up! My dad does not do that.
My Clarks.
Shut up! This is outrageous. This is outrageous. What you are doing right now.
There it
This is
is.
outrageous.
How do you think I felt? How do you think I felt?
Anyways,
4 years of this.
4 years. I'm expecting you to like join in now that the heat is on someone else.
Because I know how much it hurts.
No,
You're very
you have to
gracious.
pass on the anxiety anger cycle.
Anyways, that basically answers it. Yes, given that the range was yes, absolutely.
I would say
our
for
answers-
sure.
Okay, yes, for sure.
I think I said absolutely.
Okay, and Luke?
Yes.
Cool,
That's
all right.
the lowest?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
All right, cool.
Stay away from my family.
Okay,
Yeah.
someone wrote their name down. Name.
Oh, you're so
It's actually
funny.
pronounced
You're
Name.
so.
Uname.
Okay.
With
We were just
Name.
making fun of this person for their joke quality.
What's the actual question? Did they write that
Yes.
or okay?
Have you ever had someone in your audience
Yes.
laugh so hard, too hard,
No.
concerningly hard?
No. Well, not in
And
our shows.
The follow-up question is, how did it make you feel?
Okay, I do have an answer for this. One time I was doing a show at historic Mate Cafe in St. Catharines, and we had a pretty small audience. Small audiences, nothing new in the world of improv. Sometimes you don't have like a banger.
Was this a Paul and Luke show? No.
No. This was like 7 people showed up. This was pre-Paul and Luke. And I remember there was one guy in the audience who upstaged our comedy because his laugh was like, and he did that to like every
With
joke.
the fade at the end and everything.
Yeah. It was
nice.
perfect. And like every time he loved to laugh too. And he was like this older, like English was definitely not his first language, gentleman. So like there was nothing we could do, and every time we made a joke, I swear, like beyond like 10 minutes in, the audience would turn to this guy and he would go, oh, and like the bit became we would do something and everyone, actors, audience, we'd all pause and look at that guy, and he was the show.
Yeah.
Like we were considering fucking refunding his ticket because he made the show that much
Cut
better.
him in on the profits.
Yeah, because he was just wonderful. And so like that was like quote unquote disturbingly because it disturbed the show, but it was
Right.
disturbing the show in a good way because like it was also quite frankly not our best show. But this guy was happy to be along for the ride.
It's like that guy in the Italian restaurant, the meme guy. The Italian guy. Ha ha ha. with
Oh,
mustache.
on the TikToks?
Yeah, on the TikToks.
Yeah, it was kind of like that, yeah. Very similar cadence of like, the
be
laughs
a-
are like singular word, singular word, singular word, fade.
Yeah, definitely hard ha.
Yeah, we don't normally say it with a hard ha. That's my answer. Anybody else?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. We've definitely had a few people come up like cheek burning after the show.
That's
Yeah,
funny.
yeah.
That's
And that's just flattering. And not really
Yeah.
disturbing, though.
No.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's ever peed themselves.
And if
But
they
we
have...
started serving drinks, so maybe somebody
I was about to
will
say,
eventually.
we need to serve more drinks so that people will pee themselves in an after-school arcade show.
Then we have a story.
Yeah, exactly. Then we'll be able to report back to you and give you their name, their address, the name of their mother's maiden name.
The name of their first pet.
Yeah, exactly. So you can steal their banking information for peeing at our show. That's what you get.
Mama, I'm peeing on myself.
And my bank has been robbed.
Better not.
All right, next question has no name. Sorry. But
Daryl's red in the face
it's-
right now.
It's
I'm
a.
still thinking about that dad thing you said earlier.
Let it go, Daryl. Let it go.
Hey, I can't. I'm ruminating.
It's a. Would you
Clarks,
rather
wet
question?
Clarks, wearing wet Clarks.
Damn it.
Squish, squish. That's the sound of my wet Clarks.
He doesn't even sound like that.
It's a would you rather question.
Ooh, okay.
Would you rather have feet for hands or hands for feet?
Hands
Hands
for
for
feet.
feet.
Hands for
Hands for
feet.
feet.
Hands for
The-
feet.
The other
It's probably the
primates.
easiest one.
The other primates do it pretty well.
Is there? So my only question about that is like when you like. When you do like push-ups or anything, or like anything on your hands,
Presuming we do
your,
push-ups or an improv troupe.
your wrist can get sore because you're putting a lot of pressure on that.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a structural thing in the feet that like
Okay. Hey,
if you had hands for feet, you would be like weaker, like you'd
Hey.
get sore?
hey, Captain, here's how to do a push-up properly. If you have good form when doing push-ups, your wrists shouldn't be hurting.
Well, yeah, but you're walking around on your feet. What I'm saying is like, do you have to have good form while you're walking now because you have hands for feet?
For feet.
For feet.
For feet.
I'm worried about the structural integrity. I think you still pick hands or
Hands for
hands for
feet.
feet. I think you still pick.
No,
that.
I'm still
Feet
hung
for
up on the
hands
fact that like you
sucks.
do push-ups normally and your wrists hurt afterwards. I think that either you have weak wrists or
I
you
have
poor
weak wrists.
Okay,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
is
yeah.
fine
I have
because
weak wrists.
otherwise I was about to be ungentlemanly and accuse you of poor form.
I mean, I definitely can improve my form in terms of the ankle and stuff.
Jesus
I'm really
Christ.
passionate about like how far down you go, but I still need to work on the form.
All right, tell you what. You two are commentating. Drew, you and I.
Oh, Jesus
let's get
Christ.
it and let's both do a push-up, just a singular one.
For the listener,
What a
Paul
great
is
day for
standing
this.
up. Drew is having trouble getting up.
You cynical bastard.
Okay. What do you think? What do you think is going to happen?
I
Okay, Paul
think-
is getting into position.
Paul is going to do a push-up. Drew is going to do a push-up, and Drew's going to have a big headache afterwards.
I haven't done a push-up in a long while, so.
Paul hasn't done a push-up in a long while.
Paul, we
as
can't
I'm
hear you,
concerned-
so I'm gonna translate for you. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
They say thank you.
So Paul is doing a London's Bridge kind of movement here.
Yeah. So
Does
I'm trying
not
to
look
keep
like great.
My hands shoulder width apart.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
usually a good thing.
Shoulder
hands straight
width.
forward.
Not great
You want to
form.
make sure that your entire body goes down, entire body goes up, keeping your back as straight as possible.
Back straight as possible.
Paul
all the
is
way
getting
down.
up.
All right, thank you.
Paul demonstrated.
Drew is going down. Drew himself.
Okay,
All right, Drew straightens his body out.
Drew's pelvis is all the way down.
It's interesting. There's like a curvature in the back.
Oh, Drew is humping the floor, and Paul is getting horny.
So, from what I understand, not only do you want your hands shoulder width apart, but you also kind of want them under your shoulders, I think. like not far forward or not far back. I think you want it like
Drew is in a downward snake motion.
Well, that causes your back to arch a little bit.
and then you want to come all the way down,
Bro's shivering.
slowly as possible.
His stomach's hitting the ground,
as
but
quickly as possible.
his chest is quite elevated off the ground. I don't know how that's possible.
Yeah.
My chest
Drew
is
is
elevated. That's because
humping.
I have a big nose.
What does it have to do with anything, dude?
All right. Well,
Yeah, why'd you say that?
I guess we all learned something there, didn't we?
Yeah, especially the audience who couldn't see shit.
Yeah. I hope you enjoyed the color commentary on that one. What was the fucking question? Hands for feet. We all
hands
choose
for
hand for
feet.
feet.
Yeah, we all do.
Yeah, because if we had feet for hands, we couldn't grasp anything.
But you can do push-ups better.
I mean, like, you've seen those people who have no arms who are just sort of like, yeah, I play video games and eat with my feet. You can learn, but it would be more of a hassle.
Yeah. Opposable thumbs makes everything easier.
Yeah, definitely.
And like, I'm assuming that means I can keep my hands where my arms are, and I just have extra hand feet now, which I think would be more useful.
Yeah. Like, even if you couldn't walk on them, wheelchairs exist.
Yeah.
And you could just, like, have, like, essentially, like, 2 shitty arms and 2 good arms. But although the shitty arms would have really, like, we're not talking like the thighs are gone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, how flexible are legs compared to arms? I feel like
Arms are more flexible,
Yeah.
but
Legs
legs are
have
stronger.
more- yeah.
True,
That's what
yeah.
I'm saying. Yeah, you got the thigh muscle. You could do a lot of things. Like you could push open doors so good with your arm, hands, feet.
So
Yeah.
dramatic.
Yeah.
Hands, feet. Also, you'd get, like, you can do as the primates do and start to get into climbing. And
That's true.
build strength
Imagine
through
rock
that.
climbing.
And for me, it
rock
would be
climbing.
start. I tried rock climbing once. It was pretty embarrassing.
But you'd have to wear gloves instead of shoes? Like, that's...
Yeah.
There are some people that do that.
What?
The foot
There's some
gloves.
people that wear gloves instead of shoes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
the
like
foot
these.
gloves.
Yeah, crazy
yeah.
people exist everywhere.
You mean the toe shoes?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
You know, you already know.
know
We,
if I
in fact,
call
we
this-
don't even need to elaborate.
Yeah,
You already know.
No.
You already
it's like,
know.
It's the tube socks of shoes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Tube
saying?
socks.
The tube
Tube
socks.
socks.
But you wear them on your hands.
Tube and tube.
Are shoes like mitts then?
Oh, that's a philosophical debate. I don't think I'm even ready to divulge. I have the answer, but fuck you, you're not getting
I'm
it.
not getting into it.
Yes.
Okay, so this next question comes from Matthew
Paddington.
Pearlbottom.
Okay.
Maybe it's Paddington.
I was thinking like the bear.
Paddington Bear?
Yeah, you know, with the fucking blue
Very
coat and the red.
bare-minded today.
Matthew asks,
Leaving my bear self on display.
was crossed out. Tell me about the time that you got so lost you had no idea which direction to go.
Can I say, bro was on their way to writing a question and decided not to.
Just let's do a different question.
No, not
even
a question. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, tell
a
me
prompt,
about the
yeah.
time you did that. That's a Douglas Hobden-esque thing to do if ever I saw it.
Discuss.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
confronted him about that not too long ago. He's like, that's just how my brain works. And I was so close to being like, it's not a question. It's not a question.
I mean, it's very pedantic, and who actually cares? But it's a fun bit. Anyways, a time we
I
got
actually
lost.
love getting lost. Like unless you're like in a hurry to get somewhere, getting lost is a lot of fun in my opinion.
Honestly, I don't disagree because it's sort of like, ooh, here's a chance to just. This sounds cheesy as shit, but live in the moment and just sort of like have a mini adventure that I didn't
It's
mean
a
to do.
relatively safe adrenaline-seeking thing.
I can
Yeah.
agree with that. Yeah.
A practice that was a lot more popular like 150 years ago, which sounds very fucking cool, but not super feasible, is just like morning constitutionals. Like you just
does that
walk.
mean?
You like in the
Constitutional
morning.
is just a walk.
Yeah, you walk where the fuck ever, like as soon as you get up.
Oh,
you
It's
get-
like
you-
it's
you
like an
get
old
dressed and you-
British way of like, hello, Reginald, I'm going to take a constitutional.
Yeah. If you're
I'm
wealthy,
expecting you to do a bit
if
with me,
you're
but that's
wealthy in Victorian
continue,
times, that's a
sorry.
very popular thing. Is to like is
yes.
not
Go.
You just kind of go. Yeah.
Did I get?
You just kind of.
I can't do it
Just kind
again.
of go, which is a great way to wake up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it.
My sopping wet Clarks.
Oh goddamn!
Squish, squish. Oh, there's another one. Oh, I'm vibrating with motion.
So, I will say that as well, it's really exciting to go to like official events that take place in like places that I almost want to say are like confusing by design, like universities and hotels. Not just 24 hours ago. No, sorry, 48 hours ago. I had to go to an event in a hotel called the Westin in Toronto. And like, I was working the whole time and it was crazy, but also that place is sprawling. So much so that like there's a building on like one side of the road, overpass, building on the other side of the road, same hotel, same building.
Yeah, and you said you like had to stay in the opposite building to where you're working, so you're constantly like going back.
Yeah.
and forth.
It was an expo, and they had judges for the contendants or the contestants. I am running on so like
Contenders.
You're running.
contenders. I'm running on so like mismatched sleep. I don't know what the word is. Whenever I'm running on like little sleep, a lot of sleep, little sleep, a lot of sleep, that's when my brain really
Sleep
gets
12
jumbled.
hours, awake for 24.
Genuinely, yeah. That's when my brain gets the most muddled and I can't find words. And I'm kind of like fucking Bonfire Bennett, where I just
Can't even think of
push
that
out.
word.
Yeah, exactly. Push out words at like 3,400 RPM, so it's going fast and it's confusing. So I apologize for this entire podcast. So I went to the university and like it's entirely sprawling. The ceilings are high. There's all these like nooks and crannies where it's just sort of like it's not a conventional like hallway then
You mean the
staircase.
hotel? Sorry.
What did I say?
University.
Yes, thank you. Hotel. See, told you.
Cut it out.
No, I'm not gonna cut that out. Anyways, so there were like these weird staircases in weird like areas, and I had to guide the other judges to this one area, so I had to know it inside and out. And it was one of those things where you could not even give directions because it wasn't just sort of like, oh, go to this hallway, turn left or something like that. There were certain rooms where they were like trapezium shaped, and there was this like one alcove that went this way and then a second alcove that went towards the overpass, and that's
There's
the one they
two
had to
rights.
go exactly. Yeah, and you couldn't just say your second right because one of them looked more obvious than the other, so what if people missed them? You genuinely just had to guide them instead of telling them where to go. It was pretty hell, but also pretty fun that you got to like learn geography in real time.
Yeah.
Like the novelty of
Suburban
learning a
geography.
space. Yeah. I love moving to new places because it's like I don't recognize this place, so it feels cool to be in.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
It's like a microcosm of that being lost.
Especially when there's architecture or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I loved moving on to King Street with you. Like
Yeah, that was cool.
walking through Uptown Waterloo and discovering that park, not being told there was a park, but discovering just how fucking big it was heaven.
There was one time we were moving there, and there's in that particular park there is a private tennis court or like tennis club, and I just walked in. Like I knew it was a private club, and I'm like, I wonder how long it's gonna take for someone's.
There's no locked doors.
Yeah,
or
no, there's no
anything.
locked door, and I walked in, and I got like a good like 10 minutes just like walking around.
And someone did ask you to
someone
leave.
would be like, "Excuse me, can I help you at all?" And I'm like, "Oh, is this a private institution?" And they're like, "Oh yeah," and I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Oh, you should have really leaned into it. You were like,
Yes, I am Lord Elsington Hingbottom. I'm here for Dennis. I am going to play tennis with Dennis.
Dennis is a menace with his anyone for tennis.
I like that.
Wimmis.
Krista Bird.
Yeah. You know what's
That's what the song is. Anyway.
You know what?
it's not.
You know what is a?
You want to fight about
You,
it?
you know what's a?
What's up, dude? I know what's up, dude.
Yeah. You know what's something that I can't afford, but would be a really cool thing that I've been looking at a lot is
Your
the
own private tennis.
my own penis.
Your own private penis.
I can't afford.
I can't afford a
Private penis.
dildo. I guess what is a dildo if not a private penis?
Yeah.
You don't share it with other people.
Why not?
This is not the
Sometimes you do.
philosophical direction I was expecting this to go.
What would you classify a dildo as?
A toy, obviously.
Yeah, but is it not a private penis?
It's a substitute for a penis, but it's not a penis.
You
Yeah,
think?
it's not private.
Okay, what does a penis make? Does a penis have to be alive?
Define alive. I mean, if like you cut off a penis, it's still a penis.
Well, therefore,
But
okay, so it
it's
doesn't need to be
it's
alive. So,
organic material.
some penis,
And you
some
don't say
dildos are first of all cucumbers, and second of all biodegradable. So, what makes them not penises?
What about dildos made of wood? That's
Organic material. Yeah.
I mean, look.
Splinters, but
words are I'm terrible at defining words. Words in general are hard to define.
That's fair.
For anybody.
Yeah.
But
But for the purposes of this assignment,
but
therefore,
for the purposes of this assignment, I will engage. I do think a penis has to be part of a body or like separated from a body.
so if
Like, I don't
if
think-
I shave down a tree's branch into a penis shape, into
Then
a
it's
dildo.
a penis-shaped piece of wood.
No. Is it a penis because it's attached to something alive
Oh my
Ding-a-ling-o,
God.
ding-a-ling.
and it's part of it?
Fucking
Wait, hold
mammal.
on.
That's what we're talking about.
Do
Ding-a-ling.
non-mammals have penises?
Hold on.
I think mammals have penises.
I
No,
think
non-mammals. I don't think non-mammals have penises.
I think that we should draw a distinction between a penis and a phallus.
Yeah, I'm okay with calling it a phallus.
No. Why is it a
I
phallus
think-
and not a penis?
I
What is
think-
the defining characteristic of penis, not phallus?
I think
Don't sigh. This is what our podcast is, jackass.
it's always this. I think a
Just pays
phallus,
your damn bills, big shot.
I think a phallus is just something that's penis shaped, isn't it? Isn't a phallus just something that's penis shaped?
But what makes it not a penis itself?
That's what I'm saying. It has
Yeah,
to be
there's that,
like.
there's that church in Reykjavik that's a phallus. That's not a penis.
Yeah,
It's penis shaped.
but that's because it's on a church.
It's epic. It's an epic penis.
Isn't that a
Epic. That's totally based.
A base penis, huh?
Based and pilled.
Isn't Reykjavik Iceland?
Pilled.
I couldn't hear it again. Say that one more
Isn't
time.
Reykjavik Iceland?
Is it?
Yes,
Isn't?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay.
They are obsessed with penises there.
I went to their
They know.
airport.
They have a history of penises.
I'm sure everything
all-
has an
we all
interested.
do.
Yeah, I was
We
about to
all do.
say.
Sorry, a museum of penises. I said history of penises.
Yeah, they have a history. You know what? From now on, I'm never calling anyone a slut ever again. I'm
You
just
have a
gonna say
history.
they have a history of penises.
That's pretty good.
Can you imagine if someone in Game of Thrones said that?
That would actually, you know what, that'd fit the.
Yeah.
vibe.
They have a history of penises. And like Gronk the Door, whatever his name is, would go, okay.
Rock the door.
I have not
That's
seen.
I've not seen it either.
That's
but that is
Hodor.
Very like.
Yeah.
Hodor.
Hodor. Yeah, okay, yeah, there is a thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And then they all be like, shame, shame, and then they slap the penis. Shame.
They they slap someone with a penis or they slap their
They
penis?
slap the penis with a whip. Shame, shame, shame,
Oh.
shame.
Ah. I'm
But-
Peter
but-
Dinklage.
I'm wet.
But it'll be bad after a while because they'll hate it.
Yeah.
It'll be.
Like the
it'll go
first
bad.
couple, but-
The penis will go bad.
Penis has gone bad.
My Clark.
My Clark's my penis.
My penis. Oh, my penis. I gotta take care of this before Daryl gets home. Oh, I bird watched too hard. My penis. My penis.
It's not real, Daryl. It's not real.
All right, as has become the theme for today, what the hell was the question that led us to this?
Isn't this the getting lost question?
Oh yeah.
I mean, we just did that, didn't we?
We got lost in this conversation.
When I was a kid, I got lost in a Walmart. And I have the distinct memory of being in the beta fish section of Walmart when they had that.
They had a
And-
beta fish section of
Yeah,
Walmart.
I was maybe 3 or 4,
Yeah, I
and I
got a beta
remember,
fish from Walmart.
I remember over the announcements, like the description of me being like, "Can they report to such and such?" And I remember the person who was manning the beta fish section was
I have the next question.
was Paul took the question from me
Because
but
you
they
were not.
deserved it.
Yes, thank you.
Beta fish
But
section.
the beta fish section and the announcement came over for a child of my description to head to the front, and the teenager who was manning the beta fish section was like, "You should probably go."
You should probably go. Get out of the beta fish section before
mother
it's
was-
too late. They start
very
growing.
scared.
I bet.
Because they were growing? Because the beta fish were growing?
Yeah,
They were
yeah,
growing
they-
like too big, and the
yeah.
teenager was like, it's too late. The uprising cometh. And then the beta fish like break out of the glass and just start going like, where's my lunch? Or whatever beta fish
Oh,
do.
they broke out of the glass and they grew, ways to breathe air outside of water.
No, they're choking.
They have a limited time to take over the world.
need lunch before I die.
The system breaks under the weight of its own contradictions.
Isn't that funny?
I'm 3. 3 years old.
This next question comes from Gabriel, who really understood the assignment. Get this. There are 2 guards. One only tells lies, the other only tells truths. Which one is your dad?
Really understood the assignment.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
My dad is definitely the telling the truth to the in like a bad
very
way.
in a blunt,
Yeah. He when I saw him a few weeks ago, and he said, and he was leaning in for a hug to my partner and said, "Oh, your face looks really red," and
Yeah.
and I hugged her.
I remember them telling me.
mid-lean.
Yeah. My dad also to that. I want our dads to meet because they sound very similar.
Yeah.
But my dad sounds like your dad is kind of like the well, hey, I'm doing the kooky thing.
Yeah.
My dad like did that in his like earlier life. Like in undergrad, he was a radio DJ. He weirdly liked my streaming early on because he was like, oh, that's basically the same as being a radio DJ.
Yeah.
And I was like, Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
really
it's
is.
not too far off.
Yeah. Like, if there's an equivalent to the radio DJ from the 80s,
Yeah.
streamer.
Streamer, yeah.
That actually does make a lot of
Because
sense.
there's the personality going on, and then the breakup of the game.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the music.
And a lot of dead time, too.
Yeah.
That you've got to fill, rather than
And,
like a podcast that's
Yeah,
edited.
and like as long as you have specialized equipment, you can usually operate it out of your house. You're going to get like 1 to 2 figures of listeners. It's very like on brand. Yeah, but my dad like he left that to go to like the hoity-toity world of like wine management and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I feel like my dad is your dad if he just sort of went, all right, enough with this art shit.
Well,
If
that's
that
what
makes
my dad did. He toured as a drummer in the.
That's what I'm literally what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm saying my dad went enough of this art shit.
Yeah, and so did my dad. He's not
But-
a drummer anymore.
Well, sure, but like my dad, like earlier on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, didn't do the career.
No,
Yeah, he
my
didn't-
dad didn't. Also did not. Do
Paul
that.
Unless you're saying your dad toured when he was 16, we're not on the same page here.
okay.
I am saying that when my dad was in his early 20s, he gave up the art shit and decided to go for the hoity-toity. And you're like, that's like my dad, because when he was 50, he decided to stop drumming.
No, no, my dad in his early 20s stopped.
Oh my
touring as a drummer.
Okay, so you're on the same page. Why
That's
are you
what I'm
angry,
saying,
Paul?
and you're
Why
like,
are you
no,
mad?
it's different.
Why are you mad?
I think
Because now
there's
now your
there's
dad's
still
reading
a
more or
diff-
less.
there's well, it's better than your dad who comes and then goes, my Clarks.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
Anyways,
Your dad's got wet feet.
your dad still kind of embraces the like hippie lifestyle, whereas
Okay,
mine is
yeah.
just sort of like, let me learn 7 languages and fucking like go on tours of Europe as part of this like prestigious thing and go to hotels.
Oh yeah, my dad doesn't do that.
Yeah. That's what I was fucking saying from the beginning. What's the next question?
Oh.
Neat.
This next question comes from.
Clifford the Big Red Dog.
Okay.
We didn't have any big red dogs.
I don't recall seeing any big red dogs in my
four-sided
show. Oh man. Drew was talking over himself, huh?
Dude, fucking shut the fuck up. Ask the question.
What would you do?
Fricks.
You freaking
What would you do if you suddenly grew to be 25 feet tall?
Suddenly, in Drew's case, yeah, what would happen if you grew an extra foot, dude?
I'm so tall.
I'd probably go to sleep. I'd probably be tired.
You'd consume a lot of energy.
I'd go to the forest because then I'd be normal sized.
You would. The thing is like the forest is set up where like all the branches are like our height. So if you were even taller, you'd be like walking through the branches that are higher though.
But then, I mean, it's just about camouflage. If you're 25 feet tall, feet?
Yeah,
If
feet.
you're,
Yeah.
if you're 25
Very
feet
good.
tall, I don't know if it was meters or not.
Feet?
That's also what he searched last night.
Yeah.
Feet? Question mark?
That's
25 feet.
yeah. That's what when he saw his dad, he was like feet, and his dad was like Clarks.
You go to the forest, Daryl. You go to the forest.
Yeah, you go to the forest because otherwise people would notice you if you're walking down the street and whatever else. So like,
And everybody that you meet.
you're
They have an original point of view. Like, do they have an original point of view?
I feel like if you're
Or-
25 feet tall, you have an original point of view.
Yeah.
And I say, hey,
Yeah. What kind of day is that?
probably wonderful.
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
So we can learn to work and play.
Are we fighting or?
Fans,
trouble is, I've heard like someone sing it recently, and they're like, "And I fucked my brother," and that was the version that was in my head. And I was like, "Why would Arthur sing about?" Oh wait,
That's not the real one. Yeah.
yeah.
So you're saying you'd remove yourself
Arthur
from
doesn't even have a
society?
brother to fuck.
No.
What a shame.
Only that. Bitch DW.
Oh, we don't even talk about DW. What's your opinion on DW? That was a question, right?
yeah, my opinion on DW is that like somebody teach that girl some manners.
I mean, they don't even need to. She grew up at you saw the final episode. She became a cop, which is like.
That's really funny.
Yeah, the most like it's like, oh wow, the producers knew. They had a pulse on like how the fans viewed fucking DW.
Yeah.
Yeah. Snitch becomes cop. I think Francine became like I think Muffy became like the mayor or something like that. And Arthur wrote the Arthur stories, which like bothers me because his name isn't Mark Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah. Buster became like unemployed or something like. No, wait, he became the new Mr. Ratburn. He was a
wow.
teacher. Which is like, I don't know what the commentary there is because he was a really poor student. Those who can't teach, I guess.
Those who can't do teach.
Yeah,
Or maybe
yeah.
it's like the most improved is like
Okay, yeah, that's
You know,
fair. That's
like,
fair. Yeah.
It's a more profound experience.
I appreciate that Arthur was still bald, except he had like a couple of twiddly like pubic hairs coming out of his head.
Pop a couple of pubes.
Yeah, a little
On his
couple of
fucking
pubes.
head.
I appreciated the pubes. For the record, I appreciated the pubes coming out of Arthur's head. I wanted to pluck them and smell.
Jesus Christ.
Smell pubes?
Okay, if you had an opportunity to pluck and smell the pubes coming out of Arthur's head, wouldn't you?
I don't know how I can say yes to that. I don't know
How can you
On a
possibly?
scale of yes to absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd have to say yes. To that.
Yeah, how can you say no if presented with such an opportunity? You either go the rest of your life going, I wonder what the pubes in Arthur's head smell like, or you know and you forget within like a month, but it's
then you do it
satisfying
again.
in the moment.
Is it a boldness regret if you don't take it?
Yeah, is Arthur upset if you pluck the pubes from his head?
He only has a couple.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like not enough. Like when you smell hair, you don't smell a strand.
that's
You,
true.
you,
Not
you,
enough.
you need more. You need more pubes.
You need more,
point?
more
need more
pubes
pubes.
on your head for me to pluck and smell, Arthur.
You cannot. Yeah, you cannot get enough of a whiff from 3 whiskers. Okay, you need more.
Am I calling this episode Arthur's pubes?
No,
Arthur's head
damn it.
pubes?
Please
Closer.
don't. Please don't.
All right, what's the next question? What the
Why
fuck
do we
even was this question?
Get people to ask questions when we don't answer them.
What was the question?
If you were 25 feet tall,
Oh,
what would
yeah.
you do?
I would hide in the
Daryl removes
woods.
himself from the society. I would stay in society. I don't know if you get experimented on or something.
You
but,
would die pretty damn quickly.
I've heard that.
Would you?
Yeah, no, people with gigantism, probably from me. I heard
Oh,
from...
I mean, yeah, you'd have a shorter lifespan, but I don't know if you'd die within a year.
No, apparently the taller you get, exponentially, more problems you have in
Andre
health.
the Giant.
Yeah, Andre the Giant.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't want to be 25 feet tall, but if you were 25 feet
And now he's
Yeah,
dead.
but like that would be like compound, so you'd probably, guaranteed, if you were 25 feet tall and a human, you probably wouldn't live beyond like a month tops.
William
Damn.
Shakespeare?
Yeah, if you were a human.
If you're a
if I
human.
was a human.
Yeah.
If you're a blue whale, that's par for the course for like a baby.
Yeah.
All right, I'm asking the next question.
Will Shakespeare?
Okay.
This is from Oprah W.
Winfrey?
No.
Winfrey?
Must be a different Oprah.
If you could be, oh my Jesus Christ. If you could be the father figure for one historical person / celebrity, who would it be?
Drew.
And why?
I'd be the father of Drew.
I am not a historical person or celebrity.
You are in my heart, Drew.
Drew makes history.
Double down.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I would be Drew's dad, and I would get in on the dad fucking jokes.
You're just a
I'd be
father
like,
figure.
I'm gonna fuck you, son.
You're not a true dad.
I would ingrain that shit in you. You'd get used to that shit real quickly. You would come home in fear for your life, dude.
Yeah, fear for your life, yeah. That's why I would be Hitler's dad. And I'd be like,
You beat that
Just
kid.
beat a kid.
I make this noise.
Yeah, he'd like crack the whip and be like, "You better go to art school, son. I don't want you to get into that political science nonsense."
Yeah.
Then maybe you'd cause Hitler. This is like a time machine dilemma.
No. I make him. I make him good.
You get super.
You'd make him-
This is the
No, no, no,
sound.
no, no.
This is the sound. Listen, this is the sound of the baseball hitting the glove as we're throwing it around.
You would become
Yeah.
become Hitler's dad, right? You become Hitler's dad. You'd give him a good life, and then he'd get empowered, and he'd rise to prominence as the leader of the National Socialist Party. And then you go like, wait, no, it can't be. Back in your real life, you go back onto Wikipedia, and you never thought to look up Adolf Hitler's dad. And as it loads, it
It
loads
was
like.
always you.
Yeah, and it says Daryl Dean, and you grab the monitor and go, no, this is all wrong. You go to the Holocaust Museum, right? You somehow manage to do it pre you going back in time, and you go like, please, quick, what was the name of Hitler's father? You're like shaking the poor guy in the Holocaust Museum.
I'm sure you get arrested.
What was the name of Hitler's father?
You're like disrupting a Holocaust museum. What the
You just
fuck?
go to Auschwitz. What was the name of Hitler's father?
It's not even like a Nazi thing. It's like a Holocaust museum.
Yeah.
That's so disrespectful.
Oh, it's-
and they're like being shaken, going, Daryl Dean, and you're like, no. And you go like, quick.
Black
what-
and white portrait of you.
Yeah, and you look behind and it's like Hitler's lineage, and it's a perfect picture of you in the Hitler's father thing, and you look at Hitler's grandfather, and it's just a picture of two sopping wet Clarks.
Oh, fuck you. Oh, my
Going
God.
to the next
Oh,
question.
my
We're
God.
going to the next question.
Do any of you want to be somebody famous person's
I don't want
famous
to be
dad?
a dad in general. Fuck famous people.
Oh, whoa. All right, Drew.
You heard it first. Fucks famous people from Drew. Keep that in mind when he becomes famous. for being the first human being to fuck his dad.
It'd be nice to be like someone like.
The first, congratulations,
It's
dude.
never happened before.
Never been conceived before. You're a visionary.
It'd be nice to be like the father of like someone like stupidly wealthy, like Rockefeller or something. So because they just like
I don't
kind
know.
of drip it.
I think that money trickles up, as we all know.
I guess so.
I'm
I'm sure it'd be taken care of.
I don't think I'd want to premeditatively be the parent of somebody famous, like going like, oh, I expect you to become like, you know, Dr. Jane Goodall or something like that.
Well, that's
Yeah.
the thing. It's like you're the father figure. So are you helping them become famous, or are you coming in like after they're like a child? They're famous as a child,
yeah.
and you're helping guide them.
Like, you know, it's inevitable that they're going to become famous, perhaps, but then that would put pressure on me. Like, what if they don't become famous?
And it's
I
my
know,
fault,
I know
yeah.
for a fact I'm the only new factor in this.
Well, that's why. I mean, that's why you pick somebody famous for being bad. So you create a new history that's better.
But, like, okay, are we presuming that we can create a new history? Because, again, I think that if you pick a bad person and you're doing it with the intent of that, like, again, time machine rules, you're going to end up creating them.
Butterfly.
Yeah.
Butterfly
All right.
high in the sky. I can go twice as high. Take a look. It's in a book. Reading Rainbow.
All right. This next question is from JP.
Wait, can I finish one more thought about the thing?
Yeah.
Since we're not
If
answering
you
questions.
must.
So I think it would be cool to like have some sort of vision going like your child will become famous if you do even a halfway good job, but you don't know what it is yet. I think that's like the optimal thing where it's just sort of like push them towards their passions, knowing like you almost get this boost of like they will be successful, so there's less of a worry to be like, oh, don't chase your passions, kiddo. You know what I mean? Some parents are like, you better go
guess.
into finance instead of dramatic arts, just so you can get like a good life.
Yeah, that's
and then
my
they just
parents' idea.
yeah, and then they just get a headache about it, and then they end up unemployed.
Okay. This next question is from JP Huxberg.
Wait, go on.
Their question reads:
Paul loves control. Wait, stop. Play.
Do you endorse the belief of falcons or the falconers?
What?
Are you a devout believer in the concept of falconry?
I guess so.
All right, next question.
I endorse both.
Yep,
Yeah.
complete endorsement.
Yeah.
You
In a-
have our endorsement
in
as
a-
After School Arcade.
In a perfect world, they both have a seat at the table.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
This next question
Or a
comes
perch.
from...
Yeah.
You're always interrupting me. This next question comes from Mary, who has excellent handwriting and penmanship, may I say. Do you prefer chocolate or caramel? I'm going to assume this is referring to the food.
That's a hard one. I want to say chocolate because I don't think there's very many situations where I want caramel without there being chocolate. You keep doing that, but I'm going to answer the question.
That is fair. Say it again, we weren't listening.
Chocolate.
Okay, sweet. I think, yeah, caramel is a good supplement to chocolate. I'm not as thrilled about caramel on its own. I do enjoy a good Werther's Original from time to time as like an
But
alternative.
Better than chocolate?
Not better than chocolate
Yeah.
for sure.
See, what the caramel has going for it is that it what caramel has going for it is that it melts. You know, it can like melt in your mouth, but so can chocolate. So chocolate wins.
You haven't eaten an Aero bar before?
Chocolate
Yeah.
wins.
Aero
every time.
specifically?
It's all about melting in your mouth. Feel bubbles.
I don't know if it can melt. Maybe I nom down on that shit. In fact,
You chew Aero bars? Heathen.
oh, you ready to hear the extent of my heathenry? I fucking refrigerate them because I like the crunch. I also really like the dark chocolate Aero bars. They're better than
Ooh,
milk
yeah.
chocolate.
Oh yeah. For
Thank
sure.
you,
Dark
thank you.
chocolate all the way.
I
Yeah.
think that's what is a point towards chocolate is it can come in lots of different varieties.
You said come.
All right, nice question.
Come. Certainly.
We've hit our cum quota.
We did a cum quota.
Okay, add cum to the list. Chocolate, caramel, and cum. Which one's
No, do not add that.
I'm not gonna.
One of those things is not like the
Mary's
others.
question like that. She's already like listening to this with a wrinkled nose.
I like cum, but only with chocolate.
You know, hold on. I need to take fucking notes.
Nancy McKay asks a question we've never been asked before.
Oh.
How did you
How'd
get
you
into
get started?
improv?
Yeah. Our answer, Nancy, is listen to our other fucking episodes.
Episode.
I got messed up by Luke saying that. Episodes. Listen to our other episodes.
I rolled a d20 and then I got a 1, and so I had to choose improv.
Critical fail.
As opposed to like crab fishery.
Yes.
That was on the same list.
Basically, Spite, I tried out in high school, just thinking I would only do it in high school. Never got in. High school teacher told me, you suck at improv, don't ever do it. And I was like, that can't be the full story. Tried it out in university. They instantly fucking loved me.
Well, when I was
Fuck you.
Since I've been a little kid, I've loved performing and making people laugh, as well as just like attention in general.
So what the hell happened? You see how I got him, dude?
Luke became more self-aware, and then he's like, I don't want it anymore.
I tasted the fruit of good and evil, and I exited the Garden of Eden. No, and I started doing it in high school, and then in university I took it more seriously, and here we are.
Nice. Drew, if you don't want to answer, I can ask you another question.
I like improv because it's fun, and I started doing it because it was fun.
That's reasonable. Can I ask a question anyway?
Sure.
You ever given thought to the idea of getting fat, dude?
You should.
Technically,
You're unemployed. You could.
You're unemployed. You could get
why I grew
real
out the
fat.
beard. I was like, I got nothing better to do.
Grow out a beard because you're unemployed?
Yeah, I gotta look the part.
Okay, that's fair. What do you spend your days doing at this point?
A lot of sleep, a little bit of RuneScape. I have been getting into like Magic the Gathering again, watching the Command Zone plug. And
You are Reagan's nightmare. You're gonna be spending your disability check on fucking Magic the Gathering, dude?
I haven't. I
You're
actually,
a welfare queen.
I went through all of my old cards that I got in like 2011,
Okay.
and there's some pretty good priced cards out there.
Really?
Recoup some of the money I spent.
No,
into it.
Magic the Gathering is like lost all its value. You can unless it's like first edition cards.
Do you know how much? What's his name?
Black Lotus? Is that the one you're going for?
Black Lotus is a big one, but
Flying Lotus.
oh, what's his name?
You don't know what you're doing.
The singer.
Black Lotus is the name of a
singer who
Magic the
plays
Gathering
Magic
card.
The Gathering.
Flying Lotus is a.
It's something
Starts with an
else.
M.
Yes. Post Malone?
Post Malone. Yes, thank
I
you.
cannot believe I got that.
I don't know why I forgot his name. Do you know how much he spent on the One Ring card?
Oh no.
How much did Post Malone spend on the One Ring card?
So Magic,
How much?
Wizards of the Coast made a set.
That's not an answer.
A Lord of the Rings set with Magic the Gathering cards. And they made a card that's the One Ring. And they printed exactly one version of this card that had like special art, and there's only one that exists in the world. All of you guess how much Post Malone spent to buy this one card.
How much did he spend?
25,000.
From the guy who
25,000.
25,000.
I'm gonna say 250, $250,000.
$250,000. 10 times as much as the last guess.
25 million, dude.
25 million. Not that much. Post Malone bought it off this guy for $2 million.
Damn.
Actually, if you would have gone up
Weren't even
10
fans.
times as much,
Yeah, it would
like
have
I
been
did,
really
it would have
close.
been really close.
Instead of 100 times as much.
I'm a high roller.
But yeah, there's plenty of cards that are worth like $3,000. Some of the cards I own are worth like $30 and stuff. So yeah, they're
Wow.
People
Have you-
still play the game.
Have you considered selling?
Yeah, I will.
So you could have a meal?
I will. Yeah.
Yeah,
A single meal?
So, it's what we need to talk about playing RuneScape now that the fucking show's done.
That's true.
We
hit
need
our
to get
deadline.
fat together and play
Yeah.
RuneScape.
Now that
Cheetos and RuneScape.
Yeah, Cheetos and RuneScape, like, one of my whole Cheetos got lost in the keyboard.
now that you guys talk about
79.
now that you guys talk about RuneScape, I want to try it again because I used to play when I was a kid, and
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
oh, I remember that.
That's kind of the
I was
vibe
not
that
good
I
at
went
it.
through. I only played for like a little bit,
Yeah.
but I like found it again like on YouTube and stuff, and I was like, I want to see what this game is like.
Yeah.
Like actually take a look at it.
If I pass my G2 test, I'm going
You'll
to
join
get
us?
No, I'm going to purchase myself City Skylines on PlayStation.
Yeah. Number 2, isn't there a number 2 now?
Yeah,
but
there
it's in
is.
pre-order. I
Oh,
don't
it's
give a
not
shit.
out yet?
No, I want.
It's out.
I want the cheaper one. Oh, it is.
Is it early
It's-
access? Or?
It's not good, is what it is. It's basically the same. It's on the same engine, so basically it's a slight UI improvement over the original product, and because the DLCs are not out for it, it does less.
What's the point?
A slight UI upgrade and
Yeah.
corporate greed. Everyone was pissed when it launched.
Yeah, no,
even
I'm getting
like
the first one.
Civilization's like pretty similar each game, but there's like pretty big changes. Like the core concept of Civ games
Yeah.
is the same, but everyone's
Well, as
very
well,
different.
Civ 5 and Civ 6 were incredibly different.
Yeah, yeah,
even
yeah.
just like in the city structure, the districts, how wonders are made,
How you
etc.
use the tiles
Yeah.
around your place.
Luke, why did you say you're going to wait till you get your license?
It's a reward.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's a reward for getting your test. It doesn't really have anything to do with.
No, if I pass or fail. Like, driving is very stressful for me, and I
Yeah.
want to give myself a present.
Okay, you get a little present.
Yeah.
Just like
Especially
your
if
kitty.
I.
an extra incentive.
Yeah.
Didn't you do the last one, Daryl?
Did I?
I thought so.
Yeah, I'm getting City Skylines.
No, do you
I don't give a
endorse
shit about
Falcon?
All right, fine. Let's go. What's the next question, Daryl?
This is from the in quotes,
Yeah, okay.
the Daid.
David. You can see the V in the middle.
No, it's like a.
There's clearly a V in the middle of that,
it's not-
David.
it's not-
Yeah, that's David,
That's
yeah.
not clearly a V. That's not clearly a V. Okay.
It's not clearly a V, but like context clues, it's a V.
Yeah, thank you.
I thought it was clear.
Was there ever a time when someone
Someone's suggestion.
suggestions on stage
We should really pre-read these.
was that gross that you had to abort the skit? Okay, well, David, we have to
I see,
first we
yeah.
have to first clarify that we don't do skits. Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
We do improv.
Wow.
That
is
is
this, Second City?
Wow.
Drew, I'm going to fuck your
your
cock
cock.
and dick.
Both of them.
I'm gonna suck your dick and then I'm gonna suck your cock. So help me God.
But no, we don't really do that. We just take the suggestion we want.
Yeah, it's an interesting wording because it assumes that we took the suggestion, decided we didn't like it, and stopped the scene like halfway through, versus just took a different suggestion.
That doesn't happen that often.
So sometimes, we do have like themes of shows where we get like feedback or things from the audience in the middle of a thing. But
Don't get too specific.
yeah, exactly.
In the middle of a skit.
So
Writing a manual? What's going on?
We got things in the middle of a thing.
yeah, I'm not going to explain further. And so what I would do instead is that what I would say is that we just take the best suggestion that we want.
Doesn't pause.
We just take the best suggestion we want, and
Felt
that's
his
it.
brain.
We've
dude.
definitely had suggestions where we're like, I'm not taking that. But I don't think there's ever been like a. Well, I think we probably have regretted taking suggestions. There is like a thing where like the suggestion is the joke, and it's kind of played out in the joke.
Yeah. Although if we're good enough improvisers, we can still find a way to make it
You
interesting
can
after.
make any
Yeah.
suggestion, but some suggestions are more useful than
Yes,
others.
I would agree. They didn't take it, obviously, but I do remember this old improv troupe that I used to watch in St. Catharines, and then later became a part of. During their like inaugural show, they were playing Waiting Room, and they needed something, and some fucking guy from the audience, and this hurts to even say, it's going to be cringe-a-palooza even talking about it. They said like, you're waiting for the second plane to hit the Twin Towers, and like. Unfortunately, because it's that troupe, it's probably the one you're thinking of. They're full of like well-to-do but kind of awkward people, so they were just sort of like, "Oh, okay, we're not gonna be taking that one," and they didn't really recover from that tonal shift.
Yeah.
Because they didn't do that. And like, I don't know how I would react to that, but if I was facilitating that and I was just like that, I would be like, we might not go with that one, and then just like go with another the next thing.
I've been in a show where that was a suggestion, and I was at a wedding where I was talking to a guy, and he found out that I did improv. And
he was like, "What
what's
do you-"
the worst suggestion you ever
Yeah.
got?" And I used that example.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, I would have totally done that." And I was like, "Bro, don't tell me that." And I said it was my worst suggestion.
Yeah. This looks bad on you because you introduced this premise to me. Yeah.
One time I was hanging out with a friend of a friend, and I was asking them like, "Hey, do you want to come to like an improv show of mine?" And they were like, "Oh, I was yeah, it might be really cool. You know, what'd be really cool is to like when you see on those comedy specials when someone like yells out. I'd love to be one
Like
of those
heckling?
people." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Do not come.
Do not come.
Do not come."
I'm gonna come. All right. David with a prominent V asks.
Not the David, just David.
Just David asks, "Do you think she likes me?" No.
Sorry,
No.
bro.
You gotta step up your game.
Yeah.
You gotta get a Bugatti.
I'm just saying, like that hairline, that
Say you
skull
with your
shape,
mates.
your weird like lower lip thing. I'm gonna say like I don't blame her for not liking you.
Bro, you're a low-value individual.
I hate this. I hate what you're doing right now. Do you think she likes it? The universe doesn't know. And also, you know what's cool, David? You can just say up front, hey, I happen to have feelings for you. And if she's a good enough friend, she'll even if she doesn't feel the same way, she'll still happily be your friend, knowing that. It's only someone that wasn't going to be a good friend anyway that will go, ew, I can't possibly be friends with you.
Yeah, that's
I don't
right,
know if
David.
that's true, but
That's right, David.
true. I don't know.
No, genuinely, I think that's quite the value on like someone whether they're going to be a friend. If you get feelings for them and say it, and they go, "Oh, I can't be friends with you anymore because of this knowledge." What kind of friendship were you heading towards anyway? Where something that ultimately insubstantial to the friendship?
It depends on the It's not insubstantial to the friendship, depending on how much you like them.
Yeah, like it definitely changes the dynamic of the relationship from there on out. Right? Like that
It doesn't
admission.
have to.
I was about,
It doesn't
yeah. What
have
the
to.
fuck are you incels up to? You're, notice
no.
the redditors of this fucking thing.
No.
Compared, no, relatively, you are the redditors.
I ain't relatively probably.
Yes, thank you.
I ain't no lady, but I have heard.
Well,
plenty
until
of
you're in the bedroom
ladies-
with me, dude.
I've
Put on
heard
this wig.
plenty of ladies who are sick and tired of like being like flirted with and shit, and that they just want to have like a super platonic relationship with people. And if they like if you like them or whatever, and they know that, that will affect their ability to see it as a platonic relationship.
But therein lies the rub. It'll impact
that's not-
their ability.
Yeah, but that
to-
doesn't make them a bad person. You're
It doesn't
saying,
make
like,
them a bad person,
oh,
but
what
I'm just
kind of friendship would it be? in
no,
the first
genuinely,
place?
yes. But you're conflating the two. I'm not saying what kind of person are they. I'm saying what kind of friendship would it be if something like that broke it beyond saving.
I don't know. I feel like it's more significant than you're making it sound.
I think it just depends on the personality
I totally
types.
think you can't. Like your situation.
My
does
personality
exist.
type, yeah. I say that shit bluntly. I also say I'm only going to proceed if like it's mutual. I even have one of those friendships where they're sick of like people like not being platonic with them. I told them up front that I had feelings because I knew that it would seep through regardless,
Yeah.
and so I wanted to be as communicative as possible. And they appreciated that shit, and we're still best friends to this day.
Well, I do like communication, but I think you're
Sometimes-
oversimplifying it.
I don't think so. I think
think,
this is like real. I'm
feel like
trying not to get heated because this is real. This is my real belief of mine. This is fucking real, dude.
It also depends on the extremity of the
extremity?
the extreme
The
nature
fingers of it.
the extreme nature of the admission. You know, if you like,
Yeah, if you
listen-
rent a blimp or something like that.
Like their name in the sky.
like Sally, I know we've been friends for a while, but I
Get
have
on
to
one
admit
knee.
I've had this feeling for you for a long time, and I just want to say, like, I really like you. I really like you a lot. I think I might love you or whatever. Like that makes the friendship strange.
Don't do
now.
that.
Don't do that.
Even okay, point of order. Even if it makes it strange for a bit, I can accept that. But also, if it breaks the friendship beyond saving, that's when it gets bullshit to me. Like, if just the mere admission, like, you hang out with someone, you think that they have, let's say, I'm gonna just stack the deck in my favor for a bit, humor me for a second. There's like a bit of platonic flirting going back, where it could be something, could be not, right?
Right.
But it's still a kind of a fun, flirty type of thing. You go for broke one day, and you say, hey, I have feelings for you, and they say, I don't feel the same way. From that point forward, if they go, okay, but let's just be friends from here on out, Gucci. If things are a little bit rocky for like the next few weeks, but things settle into an equilibrium, Gucci. If they actively downplay like the aspects of the friendship, like they distance themselves from you, from that point forward, what kind of friendship was there? Where an admission like that causes the friendship to go like skirt on its heels.
Yes, I don't know. It's hard because, especially with the platonic flirting thing, like I've been in that kind of situation with like platonic flirting.
I know, I'm sitting next to you.
Platonic flirting.
Potato farming.
After any kind of admission or anything like that, it fundamentally changes the relationship. Now, that doesn't mean you shouldn't.
Does it fundamentally?
Well, yeah, because you're not going to do any platonic flirting after it's like, oh, I like you. Okay, I don't like you, but I'm still going to flirt with you.
Bro, you don't know me.
Well, I mean, you might, but
Yeah,
I wouldn't.
That doesn't impact me.
But okay.
You're a worm.
You're a worm in a man's world.
I don't know.
Crawl
I
away,
think
you
it
goddamn
does
worm.
change it. I think you probably
You goddamn motherfucking worm.
Wiggly worm.
Gonna wiggle away, you worm. Gonna crawl back into the
you
dirt.
should
Or
You
watch
know,
the bird.
You
Is
should.
it,
On the birds.
is it raining right now? Is that why you're
I'll
out in the
step
ground?
on the worms with my Clarks.
You should.
My stinking Clarks.
My stinky, soaking
No,
Clarks.
no, my
They
dad doesn't do that.
They
Okay,
stink with my
That's not my
loads.
dad.
This is your mom. Well, you're a worm.
Reading her magazine,
Yeah,
giving
yeah.
a stink eye.
Yeah,
Anyway,
what do
you
you
should.
worry,
You should be communicative. I think that's best, but you shouldn't expect things to just be the way they were after you communicate.
Hard agree. I just think that if, like, I think you're allowed to pass at the very least temporary judgment if an admission of something like that, where you're willing to go back to friendship if they don't feel the same way, but they're not willing to go back to
Judgment,
friendship.
though, that's the word that I'm getting hung up on. Because that implies that like they're doing something wrong.
What they are doing is categorically wrong, in my opinion.
I disagree.
If someone's confessed
If you don't
feelings
want to
to
try to have a platonic relationship, because that's a complicated thing to navigate, and if you
I'm
don't
also-
want to engage in that kind of relationship, you shouldn't have to.
how long has the friendship been going on pre this as well? That's also a factor, because like if say
I think
Luke,
it's a factor, but I don't think it changes my mind.
really, so like if you confess to me, you found out that you had feelings for me, you confessed to me that you had feelings, you're saying it would be understandable if I went, I don't want to talk to you anymore, Drew.
You know what? If you cut all ties, yeah, that'd be pretty bad.
Thank you.
But I do
You said-
think,
yeah.
I do think it's like, okay, well, we need to set up boundaries then. Like, it changes the relationship.
I'd be okay with setting the boundaries, but again,
Cutting
the
ties
full
is
cutting
probably-
tie. Yes.
is probably too extreme.
Thank you,
But
thank you.
if you're only been friends for like a month and it's like, oh, you don't want the kind of relationship I want, well, I'll find a new friend. Because like,
but if you
a
want
month
both-
is not a lot of investment.
But if you want both, and you can still have the other one.
people out there.
Yeah, but the whole point of me wanting to become friends with someone is not because like, oh, you're there. It's because like I like your personality specifically. I like people. That's the difference between us. I like people, Drew.
You're right. That is.
What's the next question?
It comes
What
from
happened to the
Douglas.
car?
I was born.
Just absentmindedly ripping up the cue card.
Yeah. It comes from your father.
No wonder you're bored. You have to
and
read
it's-
that shit.
And it's not a question.
We know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's create a solution for the increase of really bad drivers in the region.
Kill him.
There is no increase.
Wait.
There will be on Wednesday.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I'm not a great driver.
Can I just say, nuke Beamsville?
Okay.
Because my hand to God, I've complained to you guys before about this.
Is Beamsville the region though? Like I think we're talking
No,
about the
yeah,
Cape
we're
Dividend
talking
region
about this
there.
region.
Oh,
I mean, I wanna
in
hear
this
you-
region?
I
As
want
far
to
as
hear
the
your.
Carolinian zone, it is the region. Yeah.
In the region. Okay, yeah, my bad.
I still want to hear your story, but I'm just.
Yeah. I mean, Beamsville just has like the worst drivers known to mankind.
Isn't there like 3 people that live there?
Basically, and they're all bad drivers.
And they're all related to each other.
Yeah. No, I've had most of my bad driving stories. I had that one with Cambridge in the gas station.
Yeah, with the pulling out.
Yeah, and I've had like
Pulling
one or
out?
two.
Not something Paul's good at.
Oh, hey, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Even.
We are an anti-pulling out podcast.
Yeah, stick it in,
Come
etc.,
in.
etc. Hello?
Come in. Houston, come in.
That is the joke. Yeah, the Beamsville drivers are all absolutely awful. So, like, this happened to me a couple days ago. I fucking pulled into the gas station. When I turned the signal, I didn't even start slowing down yet, right? The guy behind me saw that I'd put my signal in, was going to go into the gas station, laid on the horn. Like, because he knew that I was going to be slowing down.
Oh my god. Okay.
So you already know I'm petty as shit, right?
Yeah.
So I
to a
start.
full stop?
No, I came to a full stop and
Yeah,
just
yeah,
opened my window and just like looked behind me, and the guy
Let me
like.
just do a quick shoulder check here.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Make sure my mirror is lined up.
What was great was that, like, I just, cause he rolled down his window and he just, like, started, you ever seen a Gmod cartoon where, like, the links just go everywhere? Yeah, that's basically what he
Flailing
started.
around.
He basically just started going, you're fucking, you're just, and I just sort of went,
I'm gonna need a sweeper. Yeah.
no, yeah, exactly. I just, like, looked behind me and, like, in a break in his thing, I was like, you started honking before I started slowing down. Is something wrong? Is something wrong with my car? Because I genuinely thought, like, oh, is he trying to communicate
tail
that?
light out?
Yeah, my hublet cap open, etc., etc. And I swear to God, this guy started just like shouting, and the only discernible word I heard in that entire tirade was "fucking" over and over. He was just like, "fucking," and he just like drove by, just. amazingly bad drivers in that area. This is the same thing where like there was a guy that tried to where I stopped at an all-way stop and he tried to barrel through and I started going through and he was like and like he just like gave me the yeah he just like gestured to me as if I was wrong, gave me the finger as he went by, and I was just sort of like, I don't know what to tell this guy. He's gonna go crazy when he eventually goes to driving school. Yeah.
So Luke, when you do your driver's test, don't do any of that.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing that.
Anyways, yeah, my hometown has the worst. I feel like everyone says their hometown has the worst drivers, but I've got a really good case for that.
Really, I mean, drivers are not too.
Toronto has the most drivers out of all of your hometowns. So
It's a
true.
I feel like
quantity of bad drivers. Just
no, but I
ratio.
feel like the higher quantity of drivers, like bad drivers, ideally are lower than the worst 50%. So I feel like Toronto is going to have overall a better range of drivers, especially since they have to be in a lot of precarious situations.
But if you have like 0.5% bad drivers out of like 1 million people versus like 1% out of
number
like
is
3
higher.
people,
Yeah,
you know?
the percentage may be
Yeah, you're
lower,
gonna
but the
notice it a
number
lot
is higher.
more.
That's true. You're going to have more bad drivers, but less bad drivers per capita. Is that fair? Yeah,
But it's
I can
still,
accept
like,
that.
More dangerous.
Yeah.
I
And
suppose.
as far as cities go too, considering like Toronto, as far as like world-class cities go, it's a very car-centric city.
Yeah.
It's not like like Paris or some shit where there's a bunch of fucking bikes everywhere.
Fucking French people.
Bikes like, oh, I'm going to the cafe.
Yeah, fuck those people and their baked goods. What's the next question?
Hold on, I'm reading because they used
Usually people read out loud, Drew.
they used a Cthulhu name, and I'm trying to.
It's pronounced Thulu.
What?
It's
What's the question?
Cthulhu.
Read it as you go. We'll be able to discern.
no, it's pronounced Thulu.
This question is by Yogthanamule.
Okay.
Yogthanamule.
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 They've asked a question before.
In brackets, it says saying name for Daryl with a heart. So they
Oh,
like
there you
you.
go. They like you.
Oh, see, I read their question last time. That's
Ah, okay, gotcha. Yeah, interesting. Fascinating.
Would you rather
Ooh.
spontaneously breakdance when someone sings, or float when you think about death? Also, opinion on Shrek 5?
Come on. That's
I
one
would say
question.
float when you think about death because that's
Yeah.
a fucking superpower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Or also when
spontaneous breakdance sounds bad.
Can you imagine like a kid's like, help, my balloon is going, help, my balloon. And I'm like, no problem.
Memento mori.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Go, gadget, memento mori.
That's beautiful, yeah.
Yeah.
That
It's
makes-
also a good incentive to not think about death when you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being at a house party, getting like the sense of ennui and just going, oh. Just,
No one's talking
up
to
to
you.
the ceiling.
Paul's doing it again. He's
Yeah,
upset.
yeah.
Yeah, you're
It's
laying
like-
in bed, you got too stoned, and you
I
start,
was about
like,
to say, it's
you're
like the
on
reverse of
ceiling.
that pot commercial. You know that one where like everyone's deflated and it's like, ugh.
Melting down.
Yeah. It's like the reverse of that. There's my answer. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like breakdancing anytime somebody sings is exhausting because so many times, like, you'll say something. We do it on this podcast, and it's like, oh, that reminds me of a song. You'll sing the line from the song.
Yeah, well, as well, like,
It's like, oh, hold on, let me just. Yeah.
well, as well, like, imagine you're at a celebration of life or a funeral or something
Oh,
like that,
no.
and it's like, this used to be Gabriel's favorite song, and they're singing like "May It Be" by Enya, and you just start breakdancing in the corner. That seems so disrespectful.
Yeah, but you're at a funeral, so every time you think of death, you're floating. I mean, that's pretty disrespectful, too.
You gotta tie yourself down at a funeral.
no matter what, you can't go to funerals. Is what we figured out.
Anybody got an opinion on Shrek 5? I don't even know.
It seems to me like a cash grab.
I'm not gonna be watching it.
Does Shrek 5 exist?
I think it's in production, which is why they're talking about it.
Oh,
They closed it pretty definitively with Shrek Forever After, and like the Shrek movies, with the exception of 2, in my opinion, 2 is better than 1, kept getting worse with each
Yeah, 1
installation.
and 2 were really good. 3 was fine.
People seem to really hate 3 from a movie making perspective. I mean, it's okay.
That's fair.
Like in terms of like actual movie like beats, like the
It's
narrative,
the most
it's like
forgettable one.
it's like, oh, they did this wrong. It's like, yeah, they did it wrong. Still not bad, in my
Right.
opinion. Yeah.
But compared to Shrek 1 and 2, I mean.
2 especially. 2 is color direction. Oh,
Oh yeah, and the soundtrack?
the soundtrack is pretty good.
Fucking John Cleese.
John Cleese was in it.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
John Cleese was in Rat Race too, and that movie stank.
But Mr. Bean was Italian.
Oh wow, how fucking revolutionary. Anyways,
What if Mr. Bean was Italian?
All right, this message comes from Vince. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if he lived in a brick house?
Not much. It's bricks.
Yeah.
Next question.
He's gonna run out of wood soon.
Well, he's got a fireplace. So he's got to chuck every
So
week.
he's got to
burning
chuck
wood.
some wood.
Yeah,
You
he's
gotta
got to
ch-
chuck it in the fireplace.
Oh,
There
I
you
like
go.
that. Chucking
you
it in.
All right, next question is me.
There's a guitar on the back.
There's a sick-ass guitar on the back that,
rocks.
like, must have taken a 5-year-old at least 10 seconds to draw. Anyways, this question comes from Kelly. I'm sorry, Kelly. The best part is, Kelly is an accomplished, and I mean accomplished 3D artist.
Not 2D, apparently.
Yeah. Don't be mean.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
What rock star do you most resemble? From Kelly. For me, definitely Robert Plant.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty close.
I'm
yeah.
a big hair kind of person. Yeah.
I don't think.
You resemble, like, I don't know, Jack Black or something like that with a beard.
Yeah, no, he's definitely got the
This-
morphology too.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, is this back to if I ever thought about being fat?
Yeah, you're skinny Jack
Also,
Black.
with the beard, that's a super recent thing.
Yeah, so it's super recent that you resemble Jack Black.
I guess. I don't know.
Daryl, you represent the hit musician Daryl Dean from Dipole Movement.
Yeah, dipole moment.
Yeah.
Right?
Now
Movement,
movement.
yeah.
Now movement. We have to make a movement.
Okay. I think I got a
movement,
lot
not
of
a moment.
I got a lot of
Exactly.
comparisons to
Trotsky.
Leon Trotsky. Yeah.
Yeah.
to Jim Morrison when I was younger.
What?
Okay.
But
The
my
fuck?
but my
The anti
Hard disagree.
no, I don't see it anymore. I get Nick Cage.
Nicholas.
No, Nick
Can I
Cage.
just say
Nick
how
Cave.
fucked
Sorry,
it
Nick
is
Cave.
to compare a child to Jim Morrison?
I was a teenager. so,
Oh, but, okay. That's pushing it.
You're still underage. That's really uncool.
okay, I guess.
Do you know what Jim Morrison did? He fucked people.
He did, and he also exposed himself.
Yeah, he did.
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
How big was
he? went
he?
to prison because he exposed himself on stage because he was a fucking drunk.
Yeah.
Bro was drunk and he was like, "You all want to see my penis?"
Actually,
Yeah,
yeah.
is that
Actually,
hard to
yes.
believe?
Actually, yes.
That
I
is
feel like that
He
happens
used that voice,
at least
too.
once a day.
that for me. Well, yes, but I keep those those thoughts backed up in my brain. No,
And did he pee on them too?
that's R. Kelly.
That's R. Kelly, yeah.
I felt like he peed too.
I don't think R. Kelly peed on stage.
Yes, he
He
did.
did.
No,
On
that's
a 12-year-old.
That was on
On
stage?
stage, yeah.
I thought that was in private.
no, that's why the whole thing was like, "What? Oh my God, R. Kelly."
I
Oh, sorry,
legitimately
15.
didn't
She
know
was
that.
15.
I legitimately didn't know that.
That
was
doesn't
on
make it
stage.
better.
Yeah,
I was
no,
gonna
it
say.
doesn't.
Yeah,
No.
That's crazy.
I would say that you can't even pee on the elderly.
You probably. Okay.
You shouldn't be
I
peeing
think
on the
I think that's
elderly.
worse.
Worse
Then
than
a 15-year-old?
I don't know.
A 15-year-old can at least evade it.
All right,
bit more
under that
agile.
reasoning, perhaps they're more agile. So don't get me wrong. If there's like an 84-year-old person in a wheelchair, and it's like you're not getting away from me. Then yeah, whipping out a stream of hot piss on them is unacceptable. But like, you have to expose yourself to a child first to pee on them, unless like you're doing like some sort of Heisenberg double slit experiment.
or you're peeing them from behind.
Hey, cup.
Yeah.
Cup.
You pee on them from
What?
behind. They can't see you.
Yeah,
What?
you look that way. Let me-
What musician do I look like?
What musician do you look like?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't.
I'm not good with these kinds of questions.
Yeah,
Jack
neither am I.
Nicholson.
Is he a musician?
Jack Nicholson.
I don't think he's a musician.
No, he's not. He's not a favorite rock star.
So I look like Drill, is what you're saying?
Yeah, the whole section of
I
drill
look like,
rap.
I look like at Drill.
Angus Young.
What, because I'm small? Yeah, thanks.
I was trying to think of anything.
Billy Joel.
Yeah. All right, we good? We good? I think we're good.
Yeah.
Next question.
Can you take it from me?
Jesus fucking Christ.
What's the question? God damn it.
Tally asks,
Okay.
what is something you'd like to say about doing improv that you don't normally talk about or asked about?
It gets easier the longer you do it, and
Yeah.
people will marvel more at talent that you think doesn't exist.
Yes. Also, it is, I've heard this said about stand-up, and I think this is true about improv, where it doesn't matter how long you've been doing it, you can forget how to do it very easily. Like if you go for a long, like a month or two without doing improv, you can almost completely forget how to do it.
Like you get so rusty.
Yeah. It doesn't take long to get back to it.
We don't want to put a spotlight on Drew for this, but like, don't get me wrong, I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, but Drew's shit, and he's a weight. It's
dead weight.
He's dead weight. Yeah, no, he makes the scenes worse. He makes talking with people worse, and like
he makes my day worse.
Yeah, no, if he's in the room, it's worse.
So the thing I want to talk about is that I'm so good at it, it hurts.
I mean, genuinely, like, no bit, you are very, very good at improv.
That wasn't an invitation.
I don't care. You're extremely good at improv. You, once a show at this point, you belt out some kind of character or choice that's like fucking wonderful and makes the scene really good.
Yeah.
Why, thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
No, but talking about forgetting how to do it, our most recent show, I was coming from a full day's work, and I made some choices where I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, Luke? And it doesn't seem like many people were as hard on on me as I was on myself. But I was like, what the fuck?
The cool thing about
I was
that
ready to put you
is
on
like,
blast.
you like notice those things, so next time you can implement them. Like as long as you keep going at a decent pace, which I think is what you were getting at.
It's a bit of a
about the forgetting how to do it.
It's a bit of a curse though, because if you think like, oh wow, I really need to stop this bad habit, if you even do it to a minute level in the next show, you beat yourself up so much about it. Yeah, it's like
that's the hard thing. Is like
being Protestant.
There's like an acting concept that they talk about in school about like the third eye, which is where you're like paying attention to what you're doing from like a third person's perspective.
Yeah.
Is that why you kept referring to? Because I kept talking about how I much more care about the audience perspective, and you keep like going, "Oh, you're using your third eye." I thought you were just being weird and esoteric.
No, it's like an actual term.
Okay, cool.
It's not like a Freemason.
But to be fair, it is.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if to be fair. I think it's. I've used it in a different way because I think audience perspective is different than the third eye. But whatever, it doesn't matter. It's really useful to have that. But when you try to get into like the flow state, you can't have the third eye in the flow state. So
yeah, that makes sense. Totally.
It's hard to balance.
Yeah. Is that what you're going to say about improv?
I feel like we talk about that it's hard to balance often. But
So what's something that you don't often say?
I talk
Tingus.
Who the fuck is Tingus Pingus?
Something I don't talk about improv a lot.
Or Daryl, if you've got something.
Yeah, I got something.
He definitely does.
Yeah.
So the thing about this is that about improv is that if you have the basics down, it somehow gets a little bit better as you get older. Like maybe it's just your frame of reference. You have more to draw from. You have more experience to draw from, right? Like there's more to build. Like you obviously have to know about whatever yes and or whatever the fuck it is, and then just how to support people in a scene, basic stuff. But once you have that down, like a young improviser may be really fast, but they may not know how to draw a scene out and really make it engaging. Whereas maybe an older person has more experience, they know more about people, they can
Comfortable
make it,
with themselves.
and they're more comfortable with themselves on stage with other people.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, definitely.
Go ahead.
Do you mind if I like double dip and piggyback
Yeah, I
off
was
of that?
going to bridge off it as well, so you go first.
Cool.
Dibbly doo.
Dibbly do, baby. So I've been trying to attempt to write a book on improv theory, which is really difficult because then you have to presume you're an authority on improv theory.
Right.
So I tried to take the alternate approach, and I've kind of come to the conclusion. I think I may have talked about it with you guys recently, but not on podcast. Aside from yes and even sometimes in the case of yes and, there's no such thing as any rules of improv aside from don't pre-plan what you're doing. Genuinely, everything is just a colloquial rule that's decided by the community that you're a part of.
It's not
there are no
hard
hard
and
rules.
fast
Yeah.
And even pre-planning. I mean, you can pre-plan something.
You can pre-plan some things, just not the entire thing. Like, the entire thing can't be pre-planned, otherwise it's not improv. Beyond that, genuinely, truly, there are no rules aside from those that you yourself deem are important.
And if you pre-plan everything, that is what we call skits, the David.
Damn, dude. What were you going to bridge off with?
What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, it was based off, like, you were talking about it gets easier when you get older. That's something that I've noticed a lot, is the benefit of, like, the sort of observational comedy side of things, like bridging stand-up and improv is like the more life experiences you have, the more you know about things.
Yeah.
The more, not even just references, but the more like
Airline
complete your
food.
perspective can be.
Yeah, and the more references you know, the funnier you're going to be.
We do a few. We've done a few scenes like set in a courtroom.
Yeah.
And if you know, like, how the proceedings would go, the terms and stuff, that scene is going to feel a lot more cohesive, and you're not going to be spending time thinking about, like, oh, what would I do next? It's just, like, instant, like, oh, yeah, I know that, like, objection means this, and the judge does this. Or, like, anytime
He goes, bang,
anything
bang, bang.
happens in my life, my mom goes, like, oh, that would be good for, like, improv, because now you have a nephew, you can use, like,
Him.
childhood
Throw him into the fray.
like childhood stories or whatever to like be like a childhood character and stuff.
It's definitely good for a kid is to be thrown in front of a crowd,
yeah, absolutely.
not consensually.
yeah,
You ever watch
laughed at.
the Disney Channel?
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Catch Quiet on the Set, the hit documentary about the abuses done by Dan Schneider.
But
They should put that
yeah,
on the
I do
Disney
think-
Channel. Cowards.
Yeah,
on the Disney Channel.
Like
oh my god.
where are they
Drake
now?
Bell's talking about being molested.
Don't laugh about that, you maniac.
But they're like putting in front of kids, like, what the fuck is this? Turn that off.
Yeah, I don't know. Just the life experiences getting incorporated, I think, is a really important part of it. Just knowing things is like surprisingly important for improv. Like having a specialty where you like know a lot about the subject that aren't like references that you need to know the reference to get.
But it allows you to
it's
get
like,
the things,
this character's
the themes
really
quicker.
real.
Yeah. Well, it also allows it, like, if you know more about black holes, you're able to emulate them quicker and, like, recognize the signs of what other people are doing.
Yeah, and there's like certain things that are like, oh, I know that about black holes that the audience might go
There's- Sorry, go.
that like you that aren't as obvious as what I'm trying.
Even in the courtroom example, there are some things that, like, straight up aren't part of courtrooms anymore, but we know them as the tropes. For example, most courtrooms at this point don't have written stenographers.
Right, yeah.
They
Yeah,
have
just record it.
They have the person who goes, "Do, do, 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 it's court time," and like it's interesting how like in most court improv scenes at this point that I see both from us and from other organizations, they'll usually have a stenographer character in the background.
It's archetypical.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good word for
They
it.
just record it? Or do they just record the proceedings?
I think they record the proceedings or have do person. Yeah.
Okay.
One or the other, they don't do both.
Yeah. I don't think they record certain things for most court cases for privacy reasons, which is why they have the courtroom sketch artist.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, they definitely have someone like going into a mic, just going like, "Defendant to the office. Repeat, defendant to the office. Over, etc."
Yeah. I've seriously considered learning how to do stenography keyboard shit because that looks fucking cool.
They get their own keyboards, and like,
Yeah.
they have things dedicated to words.
yeah,
Those keyboards are so
it's like-
small.
It's
They're
like
so small.
They're so small, and
But they can get
up
up to like 400 words per minute. It's insane.
Yeah, because it's like it's combinations of keys that get like different like sounds and stuff. It's very fucking. It's a whole different system of writing.
It's like
yeah,
like syllables or whatever, like the Japanese alphabet.
yeah, and like you're pushing multiple keys at a time, and they get very faceted, obviously.
Yeah.
And it's
But it's like
fucking
its
cool.
own skill that's not transferred.
It's the hardest job in the courtroom to be frank. The easiest, the judge. All they have to go is say guilty or not.
Yeah, and they go bang, bang, bang,
Sure,
and
it's-
some people
Yeah.
can't
It's
even
easier
do
to be a
that.
judge.
They just say sub poena, etc.,
All right, I
etc.
didn't. Okay, this is from Bart the plumber.
Cool.
Oh Jesus.
Is that part of the question?
I need
Bart
to
the plumber
find-
says,
Oh, Jesus! Jesus, Mary and Joseph! Drew, how'd you get into improv?
Drew, how'd you get your toilet so clogged?
"Oh, Drew, there's an undigested chicken in here. You've just been tossing chicken."
Oh, Lord Jesus, Mr. Hobden, how'd you do this?
How'd you do this, Mr. Hobden? You need to clear out your own toilets. I'm not doing this no more. So how'd you guys get into improv?
Is Bart an Irish name?
You said, oh, Jesus. You did that.
You did this.
You did that.
You did
we
this.
piggybacked off of
did
you.
that.
This is
you
my
said
fault.
that.
Bart O'Henry asks, "Oh, Jesus, Drew, can you stop throwing chicken into your toilet?"
I need to find.
There's a live dog in this drain, Drew.
Do you want a bar with some chocolate and caramel and peanuts inside of it?
Yeah, actually.
Then have one of my bars.
My bars.
My own Henry.
I need to find a Moe 1222 replacement faucet cartridge. Do I go for the expensive
Mother of all.
name brand part or the Canadian Tire branded part?
That's Moen.
The trouble with the Canadian,
Moen, that's an N?
It's Moen.
yeah.
Everything's capitalized except the N?
Sounds like
Why?
a plumber.
That's the way that's the design of the logo, dude. Anyways, the trouble
kind of
with Canadian
capitalized, yeah,
Tire in
Rowan.
particular is that when they're not name brand in Canadian Tire, the stuff that they have is basically like really cheap. If you're going for something that's non-name brand, honestly, you might want to go to some sort of like surplus store or something like that. I would not recommend getting some. If you're going to go for something in Canadian Tire specifically, just go for the name brand, the expensive name brand stuff.
It's kind of too much in between.
Yeah.
Of, like, you're not getting the good enough quality, but you're still paying a high enough price.
Exactly, yeah. Canadian Tire is not my favorite store to go to for that
Canadian
reason.
Tire, more like crappy tire.
Got him.
I wonder how much Canadian Tire's relevancy is propped up by, like, they have the Canadian Tire dollars. And like
Yeah,
That's
why they
definitely
do
something
it.
they're known for,
That's
yeah.
why they do it. It's
Yeah,
so that you have to come back.
But it's like something you think.
And it's also
But that's
like, yeah,
gone
it's-
now.
it's
no,
like-
but it's like it's
They
a
don't have that
cultural.
anymore.
It's like a cultural thing.
Yeah, we don't have
Yeah.
that
They,
anymore.
they were like one of the first
more time.
reward systems.
They don't do that.
They still have it. They don't have the paper money though.
They don't have the paper money.
But now everybody
It's points, just like
Yeah,
every other place.
that's
They
what I
have a
was gonna
point
say.
system.
Everybody
They
has a point system now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
but
they've lost that
McDonald's has a point system.
Yeah.
McFucking Donald's has a point
They've
system.
lost their identity, so I wonder how relevant they're. I mean, they've already built up such an empire.
Did someone
but-
steal it? Is someone walking
Yeah,
around going, I'm
McDonald's-
Canadian Tire?
McDonald's store stole Canadian Tire's identity.
Mr. Canadian Tire.
And it's like, I thought you were a store. I get that a lot.
But like between sausages out front
What?
and the Canadian Tire dollars, like
Oh, yeah,
a lot of the things that made Canadian Tire.
No, no, no,
Okay,
that's Drew-
aside from my nickname in high school, what the hell is sausages?
Daryl's on my side on
Drew,
that.
no,
Drew
you
is
got it.
Drew is describing what's in front of every Canadian Tire, which is some sausage seller.
Or like a hot dog stand.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, is sausage seller like a metaphor?
No.
Okay.
But it could be.
Yeah.
I'm
Turning tricks at Canadian.
yeah.
They are in an enclosed space.
We-
If they
$6,
if they
including
sponsored
fees.
if
And
you
it is
sponsored
hot.
me Canadian Tire,
It's
if
hot
you
there.
sponsored me, I
hot.
would fuck people in front of Canadian Tire.
It's hot.
It's hot. It's hot like my Clarks are hot.
No! Stop! No!
Is that all the questions we
That's
have?
all the questions.
We burned through those
Did we?
motherfuckers. Yeah.
All right.
We burned through the second half at the very
yeah,
least.
maybe the second half.
Maybe. Do we? I guess. Do you have anything else you want to say, Daryl?
I got. What I gotta say is I gotta go. So
Yeah, we gotta wrap
gotta
this
go.
up.
All right.
Go,
Where you
dude.
going, Daryl?
I'm going to band practice.
Yeah. Are we coming with you?
You know,
Yeah!
Oh,
Luke likes that.
you said we were invited.
I don't want to go!
I'm
You forgot the
practicing
name
for a
of his-
wedding.
You forgot the name of his band.
Yeah.
You're not invited anymore.
His dipole moment. I know.
Dipoli.
See, he forgot.
Dipoli moment.
Forgot you weren't
See,
Italian.
no, he knows the joke.
Dipoli.
I was doing the joke as well because the first time he said something movement.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Man, I can't win. None of us can win. Can you win, Drew?
No.
Can you win, Daryl?
No.
Can you win, Luke?
No.
Can I win? No.